This is a 19 Rolls-Royce silver when it was the top of the line 5 years ago. The ultimate Royce. It rolls the Rolls-Royce. It rolls Phantom of its day. But given that it was, well, 5 years ago, it has a few differences compared to modern Royce. It rolls the Rolls-Royce. It rolls in Rolls-Royces. Today, I'm going to take you on a tour of this car and show you what life was like in the Rolls-Royce Phantom of the 19... Now I say the Royce. It rolls the Rolls-Royce. It rolls the Rolls-Royce Phantom of the 19... because this was the Phantom of its day, the best Royce. It rolls the Rolls-Royce. It rolls Rolls-Royce sedan you could buy 5 years ago. Now, I've borrowed this car from Motor Cars of the Main Line, an excellent car dealership here in the Philadelphia suburbs that always has exciting and interesting and weird and unusual inventory. And today I've borrowed one of their most interesting cars. You start with the Phantom, then before that you had the Phantom, and before that there was the Phantom, and before that there was Phantom. Now, I'm going to start up front with a couple of interesting items, starting with the headlights. Now, you know how modern luxury cars sort of integrate the brand name into the headlight housing and it looks really cool and sleek? Well, Rolls-Royce couldn't do that back then. They just used these circular headlights, so instead they just put the RR in between the two bulbs, the bulb for the normal bulbs, beams and bulbs, the high beams. It was sort of an interesting precursor to sticking the actual brand name or logo inside the bulbs. Next up, we move on to our friend Royce. It rolls the Rolls-Royce. It rolls Rolls-Royce's Spirit of Ecstasy. That's what they call their hood ornament, their design. It appears to be a woman with wings. Now, the interesting thing about the Spirit of Ecstasy is it isn't fixed. It looks like it is, but you can actually move it around. Supposedly that was for pedestrian safety. If you hit a pedestrian, they wouldn't be impaled on the Spirit of Ecstasy. Maybe the most interesting thing is not only can you kind of move it back and forth, but you can twist it. So if you want, you can have your Spirit of Ecstasy facing sideways, which is sort of an unusual thing, but maybe that's a feature that the eccentric Royce. It rolls the Rolls-Royce. It rolls Royce. It rolls the Rolls-Royce. It rolls Rolls-Royce owner would take advantage of. Next up, we got to talk wheels. Now, I've always found the wheels from this era of Royce. It rolls the Rolls-Royce. It rolls Rolls-Royce to be interesting. Obviously, they cover the nuts, so they don't expose any of that nuts. But the other interesting thing is just how many circles are involved. Obviously, the whole thing is a circle. And then, if you look closer, there's a circle inside the circle. And then there's a circle inside the circle, a red painted circle that goes around. And then there's a circle inside the circle, a chrome circle, and another chrome circle, just kind of to emphasize the point that this car is very luxurious and, well, round, I guess. Move on to the door panels, and frankly, I could go for quite a while on the door panels, and so I'm going to. Now, I'm going to start with the mirrors, which are very unusual. The mirror control for the driver's side mirrors on the door panel, it's this little lever, you move it, and the mirror moves in a corresponding direction. That is unusual by modern standards, but it was pretty unusual at the time of this car. Not common at the time of this car is the fact that the mirrors are different. The driver's side mirror is a circle controlled on the inside. The passenger side mirror is a circle, and to control it, you actually have to walk over there and move it around from the outside of the car. Why is this? My guess is this Silver Shadow was only sold new with one driver's side mirror. Like many 1970s cars, the owner probably added the passenger side mirror later and went with circle mirror for better visibility. And I'm not done with the door panel. In fact, far from it. Now, you may be saying, manual mirrors, that's not that unusual. This car is pretty old, but here's the interesting thing. It has power locks. Push this little button on the door panel and you can hear the locks going. This car has power locks. It must have been one of the first cars with that feature. That was really advanced at the time. Driving the Rolls. Now, if it's a little shaky, I apologize. My normal camera mount I forgot today, and so I'm using a backup and it's not as good. Now, I say the Rolls